All right. Well, welcome everyone. I'm so excited to be here and so excited to see so many faces. This is really wonderful. It's exciting when I get to see people. I wish we were in person, but it's just really nice to see everyone here today. But yeah, welcome to the 2021 fall celebration of undergraduate research. So we're here to celebrate all of the amazing research that's been going on over the last year. And I just want to say welcome to to the BUILD community, to the PLUS community, and to the URISE community. We're all here together. And really the purpose of this event, again, is just to really highlight and celebrate together everything that, we've gone through over this last year. It's been a challenge, but we've come through it together. And everyone has done some amazing, amazing research. And I think we're all just so proud of everyone. So I'm super excited, and I should introduce myself. My name is Shandee Dixon, and I guess not so new anymore, but kind of new to the program. I'm actually a scientist at OHSU. I work with the Oregon Clinical and Translational Research Institute, and I'm also the Assistant Director of Cancer Research Education and Training at the Knight Cancer Institute. But for BUILD, I'm working on a number of programs. I'm working with BUILD, with PLUS, and with URISE. So I started just this last summer in July. And I just want to recognize, and I think it's so important, all the people that have come before me, especially Dr. Radhika Reddy. All the amazing work that she did in supporting all of the students and working to kind of be a bridge between the scholars and the RLCs. And so I'm actually going to be taking over a big part of that role as the RLC coordinator. So I just want everyone to know, if you have any questions, if you are an RLC, if you are a scholar, please, come to me with anything that you need. And I'm really, really happy to help guide you through that. And just really thankful to be here and be in this position. And so I'd like to kind of start us off and hand it over to Dr. Carlos Crespo, who is the PI for the PLUS, the BUILD, and the URISE programs. So thank you so much, Carlos. Go ahead and take us away.
Thank you. Thank you. And good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are. I want to also take the opportunity to welcome you all, and also to welcome Dr. Shandee Dixon. Tom Keller and I are really excited to have one more partner that could help us as we transition into the next phase of EXITO. I know we're meeting virtually, not in person, and this also allows the opportunity to have a larger group, and also to accommodate our friends from other places who normally couldn't make it. So we're really excited to have you here. This is an interesting time because it's the beginning. This is officially in the academic year, our first event, where we now bring the different branches of our family from BUILD EXITO, which is what we started with. But we also have students in another project called URISE, which is very similar to EXITO. We also have students who are doing EXITO Plus, which is that part where they are in between going to school and finishing the program. We might have some students who are part of, I think we call it after EXITO or aftercare. So I think the family is growing, and we all have different places, but we also have people from all over the place. We have our partners from Oregon, but also we have our partners from Vancouver, Washington. We have visitors from Alaska, American Samoa, Guam, the Commonwealth of Northern Mariana. Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. But as important is, we also have alumni, and I see some familiar faces of scholars who graduated and are currently attending graduate school. Some backdoor here in Oregon, OHSU, But we also have alumni in other places, Boston, New York, Seattle, Chicago, etc. I'm not sure they're here, but it just shows the tentacles of BUILD EXITO. And before we move forward, I think we should make sure that we acknowledge the people who made it possible. It's a lot of, I'm going to miss some names here, but you know, from Cassandra to Becky to May Culverson to Arjun, Zhen Linwell, Caitlin, I don't know if she's here, and our partners in Guam, etc. So a lot of hands have been involved in putting this together, and want to make sure that we recognize them, and also for the assistant of Shandee Dixon. I think we have also members who are part of the advisory groups for the different programs, and also from the PSU leadership. Excuse me. I can see Dr. Podravsky, who's interim vice president for research. I see also Dr. Fanuel Muindi, who is in the steering advisory for URISE. And the most important person, I'm going to get in trouble with the president of PSU one of these days. The most important person at PSU, our provost, Dr. Susan Jeffert. So there might be other members of the PSU or HSU leadership, and my screen only takes like 50 people, so there might be more. But all in all, I'm extremely excited to today's event and to hear more about our scholars. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Crespo, for that intro. We're now going to move on, and we're going to be able to hear from our current scholars in each of the programs in BUILD, URISE, and PLUS. And just to give you a little bit of information, BUILD EXITO is an undergraduate research program that provides workshops, mentorship, and research experience to undergrads that are interested in health sciences and biomedical research fields. And so I'm really excited to introduce our first speaker for the BUILD program, Jose Camara-Lavadores. And Jose is a BUILD EXITO Cohort 5 scholar who transferred from Portland Community College and is working in Jason Podravsky's lab at PSU. So yeah, welcome, Jose, go ahead.
Really excited to be here to talk to everybody here. So I'm here to talk a little bit about myself. So my name is Jose Camara-Lavadores. I come from an indigenous background. So my parents' education wasn't very robust in the area that they came from. So there wasn't really anybody to give me, to really push and advocate for STEM and any sort of scientific background. So I was really excited once I grew up and found EXITO. But as a kid, you know, I would kind of watch these cartoons with the kid scientists who just made all these inventions and would just make all these chemicals and make amazing things. And I was like, wow, that seems really exciting. I want to be like that guy. But to me, that kind of seemed in the same ballpark as saying something like, I want to tame a dragon or something like that. So I was like, not going to happen. But as I grew up and finished high school, I did some working, and I decided, hey, I think I'm going to go back to school and find something that I really like. So I took a intro biology course and was really excited. You know, I was hearing all these things that the instructor was telling me, and I was just like, whoa, so focused and writing everything down. I look up at the clock and it's been like 20 minutes and I'm thinking, it's only been 20 minutes and there's still like an hour and 40 minutes left and multiple weeks of this left. And I'm thinking, God, what is this class going to be? So taking this and learning all of these things, I was really excited. And, you know, there was the stress, of course, but it was so exciting to learn about all these beautiful things that are going on that nobody really told me about. And that's kind of when I decided, like, I think I want to pursue science. And I didn't have anybody that said, like, yeah, like, it's going to be great. I had a teacher who told me, don't do it. You're going to end up teaching high school like me, and it sucks. But contrary to what she had said to me, I was kind of like, I'm motivated. I think I'm going to be able to kill this. So I ended up like taking these STEM courses, ended up finding BUILD EXITO, which was amazing. And they really gave me all the help that I needed to persevere and kind of put me in this amazing spot that I'm in right now with this amazing PI and amazing lab, really. But yeah, it was really great to find EXITO, like I said, and they really helped me read papers, which was great, which was one of the things that I struggled with at the beginning, especially being in class, like reading things in the textbook. I'd just kind of be like, that's cool. I don't know what that means. So I'd Google things and I'd just be like, I'd find 5 different sources with different definitions of things, and I'd kind of piece together my own thing, and I'd see that it was just saying that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So that was a lot of fun. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun just reading papers, doing investigations, hanging out with my lab mates who have been amazing. Like I said, I'm in this really amazing lab where everybody's really knowledgeable and we all back each other up, really supportive. We all give each other a lot of crap sometimes. We joke around. It's similar to a family, you know. We got our father, who's our PI, and all of us children just running around having a heck of a time and causing mayhem wherever we can. But yeah, I really enjoy doing research, and I hope that I keep doing this as the years progress. And I'm going to keep being in school for like the foreseeable future. I guess it's going to be till I die probably if I'm going to do research, but looking forward to it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jose. I loved everything you said, and I really feel you. Yeah, round of applause, absolutely, for Jose. And yeah, I feel like everyone I've met is becoming my mentors, and I'm learning so much from you all. And yeah, you're all becoming my family. So yeah, thank you so much for those words. And now we'll move on to our Plus program. So just to tell you a little bit about the Plus program, EXITO Plus is actually a funded research opportunity from the Genentech Foundation to support BIPOC BUILD EXITO alumni who've been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. And so this amazing program is supporting scholars from spring 2021 through winter 2022. And I'm really honored to be able to introduce our next speaker, Anna Zhen, who is a current Plus scholar and BUILD EXITO alum. Anna is a PSU scholar from BUILD EXITO cohort 3 and now is a Plus cohort 1 scholar. And she was in the BUILD RLC of Dr. Carolyn Quam, and now in the Plus program is working with Dr. Sunny Lin. So welcome, Anna.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, Shandee. So, like Shandee said, my name is Anna. And honestly, EXITO has been really great. It's allowed me to actually get into the career path I am now. So a little backstory is I started off in Dr. Quam's lab, and then I was like, wow, I really like this field. Let me double major in it. So I ended up double majoring in speech and hearing sciences and psychology. And I thought I was going to pursue speech pathology, but in the process of taking my curriculum, I was like, oh, wow, like audiology is like so interesting, so vast. And it really aligned with like my personal family experience. I have a couple of family members who have hearing loss to varying degrees for varying reasons. And most recently, my father was one of them. And at the time we were going through his hearing loss, it was like kind of confusing. We really didn't know any like information about like what to do with hearing loss. And so when I took audiology courses, one of them was talking about psychological counseling for individuals with hearing loss or other hearing disorders, and it really clicked. And afterwards, I graduated and I the economy was kind of horrible, as everybody kind of knows. And I worked as an essential worker position, and it wasn't really working out for me. And then I heard about Plus, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should totally get back into research, get my bearings straight for graduate school. And part of like, besides getting back into research was honestly, I needed the structure into like getting myself back in the zone of like applying for graduate programs. And I was really glad that Genentech funded Plus so I could be a part of my cohort and really like get back into research and really like hopefully eventually give back to the community.
Excellent.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anna. Yeah, we're so happy to have you in the Plus program. Yeah, and congratulations on everything that you're doing, and we all support you. So yeah, a round of applause for Anna. Yeah, and so kind of moving on, I want to kind of now move on to the BUILD Consortium. So the BUILD EXITO Consortium actually includes 9 great universities and community colleges. So I'm going to kind of go through those so you all can kind of get an idea of how large this consortium is. We have American Samoa Community College, Clackamas Community College, Clark College, Northern Marianas College, and Oregon Health and Science University, Portland Community College, Portland State University, University of Guam, and the University of Alaska Anchorage. So we're a huge consortium and really all working together to support each other. And I'm really excited to announce our speaker from the University of Guam, Eries J. Moreno. Eries is from the University of Guam and was a BUILD EXITO Cohort 5 scholar. And it has been working in the RLC of Dr. Angeline Ames. So welcome, Eries. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you, Shandee. And yeah, welcome and hello, everyone. And Hafide from Guam. Again, my name is Eries J, and I'm a senior undergraduate student here, majoring in psychology and biology. And first of all, my apologies for the background noise. I'm currently in public. But again, I've been a part of BUILD EXITO for almost 3 years now. And I think prior to EXITO, I had no prior exposure to research, during the early period of my undergrad. And definitely at the time, I didn't really understand what research entails or even the large community that backs that up, which, we can see that right here, right now. I mean, I grew up from a working class family who also didn't have an idea of what research is. And so when I found out about EXITO through some of my older peers who are also alum of the program and are now doing amazing things, I made sure to give it a shot as well. And little did I know how much this program would open the world that is research, which was very new and foreign to me at the time. And I think it was genuinely just that curiosity, I think, that sort of made me excited for research, whether it was on a topic that I wanted to something that I wanted to learn more about or something that I completely related to. I think that sense of curiosity, of wanting to learn more is what really drove me to continue this path in academia. And I think it also helped shape my actual research interests. So like sharing the same sentiments as Anna on what she was saying earlier. I think I remember first looking into climate change perception models, then taking a step back and really realizing that probably wasn't for me. And then looking at the cases of mental health here on Guam, then to looking at a topic that I think is what I have full passion towards, which is cardiovascular health studies. And so I think that journey was very important for me to realize what's at stake for my future and what I sort of wanted to move forward with. And I think beyond the research interest, it helped me realize many things outside of that. I realized that, for one, there's a lack of research that highlights my home here, Guam, in the Pacific, whether it's on mental health or cardiovascular health. But I think just as there is that shortage, I think it's equally what's fueling me to continue my education, right? To learn from the great mentors that I do have right now, to the skills and experiences that BUILD is providing me. And to hopefully return back home here, to get back to my island and provide the research that we so graciously need. So yeah, I think it's the community outside of research. It's the community where I'm like able to share the resources, the successes, or even the failures, is what I really appreciate about Build. And so, yeah, I think just above all, I think being in this growing community really helped me find my niche, right? The support and even the diversity that make up the scientists in me and in everyone that's here today. And yeah, again, and I hope to continue pursuing this line of education through graduate school and find my way somewhere in the research path that I want to be in.
Thank you so much, Eries. Yeah, awesome. We're so happy for you and proud to have you as part of the program. Yeah, congratulations on all of your accomplishments so far. And we're all here to support you moving forward. So yeah, thank you so much for your words. And moving on, I want to move on to our URISE program. So the URISE program is a newer program, and the mission of URISE, which stands for the Undergraduate Research Training Initiative for Student Enhancement at PSU, is really to recruit, train, and mentor students from historically underrepresented groups to continue biomedical research training. The URISE trainees are undergraduates who are committed to pursuing advanced education, research training, and a research career in biomedical, behavioral, social, clinical, and translational research. There's a number of fields that our URISE scholars are interested in. And I'm really excited today to introduce our URISE speaker, Ismael Bastida De Jesus. Ismael is a cohort 6 BUILD scholar and now a cohort 1 in the URISE program, and is working in the RLC of Dr. Leah Ernst at OHSU. So welcome, Ismael.
Hello, Dr. Dixon. Thank you for that introduction. So my name is Ismael Bastida De Jesus. I am currently a student here at PSU. I'm a 4th year. I guess to give a little more background about myself, I'm passionate about researching the chemistry of the brain and the nervous system. My interest in the field of medicine started since high school. I went to Bethlehem Polytechnic High School here in Portland, Oregon. And it was really my teacher, one of my teachers who I had was a medical assistant, a surgical medical assistant while she was in the Navy. And she really burst that flame, I guess you could say, even more within me to be interested in medicine and science. And after I finished at Benson, after I finished high school, I transferred to PCC. I wanted to go to undergrad out of state. I wanted to earn a bachelor's in neuroscience. And of the schools in Oregon, there's very few, I think like 1 or 2, that offer that degree, but I didn't get accepted into those. So I ended up going to PCC, where I was able to complete a lot of my prereqs. So I did a lot of the general education classes, and I earned an Associate of Science degree and my Associate of General Studies in the 2 years I was there. And again, I was insistent, and I just wanted to go to school out of state. So once I was getting close to finishing my time at PCC, I applied again to many out-of-state universities and colleges to hopefully get a bachelor's in neuroscience. But before I finished at PCC, I had secured a position in the BUILD EXITO program. And I ended up landing a spot here in PSU. So I stayed in Portland, I stayed at home. And after asking many questions, I remember I even like interviewed, I think it was Caitlin. I asked her a lot of questions, and I was able to have a spot here at PSU in cohort 6 of BUILD EXITO. And after finishing the first year of BUILD EXITO here at PSU, virtually, of course, because of the pandemic, I was invited to form part of the URISE cohort 1 program. Me and other few selected students. And so far we've established a great community between us. I think there's like 8 of us. It's been really awesome getting to know everyone on a deeper level. So now I'm a PhD student. I'm finishing up my pre-med requirements. I am majoring in public health and psychology, and hopefully very soon I'll be getting a minor in chemistry. I am excited about research and the opportunity that both BUILD EXITO and URISE have offered me, because it's an opportunity that not many minority students, not many students who have parents that didn't go to college, they don't know about any of those opportunities. So I'm very excited, and I take advantage every day and every moment I can to learn from the people and the mentors that I've encountered along the way. Doing research in my time of undergrad so far, it has really motivated me to keep going. Being in a lab, working with doctors, doing research has really helped me be more confident and sure about myself, to feel and to know that I can definitely do this one day. I can definitely be a scientist. I can achieve my personal ambitions, and I can thank URISE and BUILD EXITO for that. Currently, like Dr. Dixon said, I'm working in the lab of Dr. Leah Ernst at the OHSU Center of Comprehensive Epilepsy Center. So I'm looking into patients with epilepsy and patients that suffer with seizures. And the most interesting, I guess, breakthrough you could say that we've experienced and that we've discovered in our research was that after implanting a device in these patients that have epilepsy, more specifically focal epilepsy, of the patients that have had this device for a year, there's been an average seizure reduction of 69% after the 1 year mark. So that's been really, really awesome and really amazing. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ismael. That was awesome. Awesome. And we're so proud of your work. And I think we can all really feel your passion for the research. So yeah, congratulations on everything that you've done and are accomplishing and keep going forward to do. So I just want to take this moment to thank all of our speakers. Everyone has been wonderful and such important, amazing, inspirational messages. So thank you to everyone. Another round of applause and just amazing work. All right. Now we're going to switch gears a little bit. And so we're going to have a Build URISE and Plus trivia event. So I'm really excited that Arjun and Motu are going to lead us through our whole trivia event here. So I'm going to hand it over to them.
Yeah, hi everyone. It's going to take a few seconds to get set up. So while I'm clicking around here, I'll introduce myself. My name's Arjun Viray. I'm from cohort 1 of the program, and I now work for BUILD EXITO doing communications. So it's kind of been this crazy full circle experience of starting with the program back in 2015, graduated in 2018 with my Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science, and then peer mentored for the program, and then a position opened, and now I'm here. And it's great, and it's cool to see like URISE come to fruition and Plus and whatnot, and to meet all kinds of new folks like Shandee and all the other new staff. And I'll hand it off to Motu to introduce himself as well.
Hi everyone, my name is Motu, pronouns he and him. I'm so sorry if my voice sounds a little cracked. We just had our Pack Fest, which is like a mini luau this past weekend. And so if my voice cracks, that's why. And so I just wanted to say hi to everyone. I was originally part of cohort 2, and then now I'm in graduate school at the OHSU PSU School of Public Health, and EXITO has a very special and dear place in my heart, and it's so nice to be surrounded by like-minded people, but also people who are motivated to make change happen. And so that's the reason why after peer mentoring a couple of years, I decided to come back as a graduate research assistant, because I can't get enough of EXITO. And so now we're here playing this trivia game. We try to make it as interactive and as fun as possible. So hopefully you'll learn something, but at the same time enjoy like all the graphics, because it wasn't stressful at all planning an in-person, this at all, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. So the floor
Yeah, we
is yours.
figured it'd be fun just to like, because now the program is where it's at now since 2014, 2015 when it started. It's like there's all kinds of new people and all kinds of different like scholars and whatnot. So hopefully this is a refresher for all of us, because while we were putting this together, I learned a lot about the program that I totally forgot about. And I'm sure a lot of staff and faculty can agree probably, and the students as well. So with that all being said, we'll go ahead and get things started here with question 1. And I'll throw the poll in a second, but I'll go ahead and read it. What does BUILD EXITO stand for? And we've got all the options on the right there from A to D. And I'll go ahead and launch the poll now, and we'll see if folks know what the long acronym stands for. We've got a split between options A and D, but the answer is A. So building infrastructure leading to diversity, enhancing cross-disciplinary infrastructure and training in Oregon. I don't know if Dr. Crepso or maybe Dr. Keller would like to chime in about why this long acronym exists or how it came to be, but feel free to jump in if you like, or we could move on to the next question.
So I'll just say that the first part comes from NIH. BUILD is a national initiative from NIH. So that stands for the Building Infrastructure Leading to Diversity. And then Carlos came up with the PSU version, which is EXITO. You want to share that it has a double meaning?
Yeah, EXITO doesn't stand for exit, although I know most people think EXITO, it's exit with an O. In Spanish, it means success. That's the tagline, a successful research pathway that goes with BUILD EXITO.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so we'll move on to the next question, which is when was the grant for BUILD EXITO written?
Oh, wow.
And we've got some years here, 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015. And so for folks interested or who are familiar with the grant world, all the work that goes on behind the scenes of creating a program like this takes years to do. And so, we have some folks here in the meeting who is part of that, that we'll learn about later on, but we can go ahead and guess here of what year that was written. So I'll give it maybe like 5 seconds here, and then we'll close the poll and move on. All right, so it looks like we landed on 2013 being the highest poll there, but the answer is 2014. So for those who voted 2014, congratulations. So yeah, that's when the grant was written and submitted and accepted by NIH, and all the hard work that all the folks who worked on it came to fruition with the first cohort. And now we're here in cohort 7. Gonna start recruiting for cohort 8. Kind of crazy.
That's a trick question, though.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's a trick. Because before there was BUILD EXITO, there was a planning grant.
Yes, let's give them kudos. Who was there? Mm-hmm.
And that was the year before. And it was called EXITO too, by the way. We didn't get more creative on that. It was still called EXITO.
Good to know. Awesome, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so question 3 is who helped to write that grant? So we kind of have an idea now, we know that Dr. Crepso was there, but we've got some other folks whose names and faces might be familiar here, but let's go ahead and launch that poll. All right, so these are the results from that. We've got Kay Logan, Dr. Carlos Crespo, Dr. Keller, and Dr. Cynthia Morris. And the answer, is all of them. They're all there helping to write the grant. And I know there's other folks, if you want to give them a shout out as well, Dr. Crespo or anyone else here who is part of that team, just to recognize that they were also there helping you write those in those early hours of the morning, I'm sure.
There's only one person that stood in front of the FedEx truck. We had to meet a deadline of 5 o'clock and we had to make the copies. It's not one that you submitted. And the grant had close to 2,000 pages. So we had to have 3 different photocopy machines going in 3 different places, 1 or 2 at PSU and 1 a private place. I don't remember who was in the private place. And then we had to put it in a box. And only one of these 4 stood in front of that FedEx trucks, not to move until all the boxes were in. Anybody wants to guess who was that person?
C.
Actually, it was A.
Shoot.
So no, actually, Carlos, I was the one who took it to FedEx and
There you go.
delivered it. And then it would happen to be submitted on April 1st. And so I called at about 5:15, after the day's deliveries went out. And I was on the phone with Kay Logan and I said, okay, you're not going to believe it. We didn't make it. And
that was not funny.
No, I actually almost passed out.
She didn't know that. I mean, I didn't know she had put it on speakerphone. So all the other people who had been helping were also having heart failure. But I'll just note that there were some other key people who helped with this. And one is one that may be familiar to many of you, and she's on the call. Dr. Jennifer Blakesley played a role in getting it over the finish line. And there were other people like Adrian Zell, who was our evaluation coordinator, and several others. Of course, it took a big effort, and people from Sponsored Projects Administration. So that's the unit that helps with grant administration that Dr. Podrobsky oversees. So it was a big effort.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, everyone. So we'll keep it moving along here to question 4. Kind of some other timeline questions. When did BUILD EXITO have its very first orientation, which is now named the Summer Research Academy? So we've got 2013, 2014, 2015, and 2016. It looks like most folks opted in for option C, which is 2015, and that's right. So 2015 is when I started the program, and I remember that very clearly, going to Lincoln Hall, if you're familiar with the PSU campus. And it was a crazy time just meeting all these other students and meeting folks like Dr. Crespo and Kay and just a lot of people, and just being around scientists. And I remember meeting other students from all the other partner institutes we mentioned before, from like Guam and Alaska. And I was like, what's happening? It was like some random July day. I was like, this is an insane event to meet all these other students and faculty. So definitely a highlight for 2015 for myself. So here we are for question 5. On average, how many scholars are in each cohort? So we've got 89, 79, 90, and 50.
That's a question for Matt Honorary.
Yes, shout out to the eval team. It looks like we have it split between 79 and 50, and the answer is 89. So pretty big chunk of students are accepted into the program each year, and that is great because, you know, all the students who shared their stories today, and there's countless other stories who have similar themes that went on as they went through the program. So, all right, question 6. As of September of this year, how many scholars have been admitted to the program as a whole? We've got option B being the highest here, and you're right. Well done, everyone.
Anyway, I got that one wrong.
Nice.
The PI can do math.
All right. So question 7, how many cohorts have graduated from EXITO since its inception in 2014? All right, looks like we got a split between 4 cohorts and 5 cohorts. And the answer is 4. So that means this upcoming year, we'll have our 5th cohorts of scholars completing the program in its entirety and going out to do whatever they hope to do and accomplish in the years to come. So yeah, you'll probably see future emails about that end of year celebration, but that'll be months down the line. All right, question 8 is, as of summer 2021, how many scholars have completed EXITO? 202 is what most folks voted for, but the answer that we found that we think is right is that. So yeah, 202 are the number of students who've completely graduated from the program, all the previous 4 cohorts, and there's 202 BUILD EXITO alum out floating in the world, and it's pretty cool. We've got a few of them here in our Zoom meeting today. And we've got a ton doing all kinds of cool work, whether it's in research or doing research adjacent work or just doing anything not research, which is perfectly fine. And we love to hear that.
And a lot working with EXITO as like peer mentors, enrichment specialists, you know, and then we have all the great people working on this event as well, like Arjun and Motu.
Yeah, exactly. So full circle, how the program has, you know, scholars enter, they exit, but then they come back because it's just nice to work with, you know, all the other PIs and each other and really just kind of support all the other scholars coming into the program. All right, so this one is interesting, I think. As of December 2020, how many publications have been completed by scholars? And I think this number is pretty cool just because it's just nice to know that the program is doing its job of like providing research experience for students to publish research and put it out in the world, which is kind of mind-blowing. Like we've heard all the other scholar speakers earlier today sharing the research that they've done and that they're interested in, and it's just neat to know some of them are first authors on these papers and like they've contributed to the body of research, which is like the mission of these programs. So, and share the results. So it looks like most folks landed on 90 publications, and that's right. So there's 90 papers out there that have been published by scholars, and you know, the way the research world goes, hopefully in the next few years or so, like all those papers and those ideas that have been sitting around will actually get published one day, and these number will grow. Another question is, what is the most common major within scholars? So we've got public health, biology, psychology, and chemistry. All right, so most folks split between public health and biology, and the answer is biology. So we've got a ton of students doing all kinds of lab bench work, doing kinds of clinical work, doing social sciences and whatnot, but most of the students are majoring in biology. So I'm going to hand it off to Motu now to continue on with the rest of the trivia.
Thank you, Arjun. So we're actually running low on time, but then we're just gonna speed through everything. And then question 11 is, who are the graduate research assistants this year? Fun fact, they're all EXITO alumni. Oh, I'm there. Oh, okay. And then we'll open the poll. How did I? It's interesting because like majority of y'all voted that I was there, but it's actually A through D. So there's Anne, Felicia, Maria, and then there's me. And then we'll move on to our last question for today, which is, who is the site leader for American Samoa? So it's actually Mr. Elsham. He is the site leader for the American Samoa Community College. And that ends our trivia for today. Granted, we prepared 20+ slides, thinking that this was going to last a lot longer, but we're glad that people are enjoying it. For the folks who private messaged me asking me for the answers, next time we will, that's a no, but then I will pass it on to Dr. Keller for closing remarks. And thank you everyone for participating.
Well, thank you, Arjun and Motu. That was great. I think it's great to review the history. You know, we've done a lot together. It's been many years and many people involved in this effort. And again, with this program, we were trying to emphasize that it's grown beyond BUILD EXITO to include now URISE and Plus. And so we're actually have a vision to join forces with other research programs on campus at PSU. And, you know, we're all working together to provide equity and access and to address structural barriers to research at our institutions. And there are other great programs that are doing the same, sometimes funded by NSF and other groups. And we're trying to join forces for greater collective impact and to really make sure that all students at our institutions know about these opportunities and can participate in undergraduate research. So it's a large undertaking, as you know. It requires a lot of teamwork, and we are so fortunate that we have such a wonderful, dedicated faculty and staff that have been working on these programs over time. And again, we've said goodbye to some key people this past year that we miss, like Dr. Wolf and Dr. Reddy. But we're excited to bring on board other new colleagues that are playing a key role now, like Dr. Dixon and Dr. Decatur Foster and Dr. Carlin Adams-Wiggins. So we have really been pleased. There's been so much faculty support for this kind of effort. Those who actually participate in offering the program, and also those that are serving as mentors and as RLC leads and giving students research opportunities with their projects. So I know Carlos mentioned some people to thank at the beginning, and I want to do the same. I want to thank everybody who's made this possible. And instead of naming individuals, I'm just going to go by teams that play a role in this effort. And I'm going to start with those that may not always be recognized, but are critical for providing the infrastructure and support. So we have a great group that works on program administration and project management. We have a great communications team. We have a great evaluation team. We have a recruitment and application team. We have the orientation summer research academy team, the enrichment team, the induction and immersion team for summer programs. We have the RLC coordination team that puts on the RLC fair and makes the matches. And we have the gateway instruction team for our gateway courses. And as Carlos mentioned, we also have steering and advisory committees that play an important role. And also I want to make a special call out for our mentors, many of whom are with us today. And again, this is just another way that they demonstrate their support for students by participating in events like this, but they are serving as career mentors, as research mentors, and peer mentors. And also I want to call out for special recognition our wonderful partner faculty that operate the program at our consortium sites that Shandee mentioned in American Samoa and Guam and Alaska and PCC and Clark and ACAMUS and OHSU. So they, of course, are critical for the success of the program. And finally, I want to just thank and acknowledge our university administrators and other people on campus who provide support for these kinds of efforts. So as you know, that we are working hard to continue these kinds of programs, research training programs, especially for historically underrepresented students. And we're trying to institutionalize as much of the programs as we can. And so we're participating in new initiatives on campus to make sure that future generations of students have these kinds of opportunities. And finally, I just want to thank all of our excellent scholars who have accomplished so many great things. We're very proud of all of our scholars, both those currently in the program and those who have graduated and gone on to other educational opportunities or employment opportunities. And again, a special appreciation for our current scholars who are experiencing the program during these very unusual and challenging times where we are holding all of our events virtually. So thank you for adapting, for persevering, and for learning and growing under these circumstances. And I think it's clear that the world needs all that you have to offer more than ever. You're bringing your determination, creativity, and insights to solutions for our biggest health challenges. So keep up the great work. We have high hopes for all that you're going to achieve in your long and illustrious careers. So thank you.
Thank you to everyone. Yeah, huge round of applause for everyone who's here, all of the speakers and everyone joining. It's amazing just to be together and just, I can feel that support just kind of through the screen. It's just really awesome. Yeah, so thank you to everyone for coming today. And yeah, I think that's the end of our celebration, but the celebration goes on beyond this. And I think it's, important to remember that we celebrate ourselves every day. So don't forget that every day, continue to celebrate yourselves and each other and, just all the progress you've made.